Have you ever asked yourself why our stadiums in Kenya are not full during match day games?
Football brings people together.
Yeah, it's a unifying factor.
It's a unifying factor. We are not going for war.
Soccer is a sport that we've seen from childhood, and we tend to support the English Premier League and all these other leagues. Why can't we support our own? Maybe the question can be in the science behind the safety and security of our stadiums.
Security trends
Yeah.
keeps on changing every day. They are
Dynamic.
not constant.
Yeah.
They are dynamic.
Yeah.
So you must have it in mind that what took place today is likely to change tomorrow.
Yeah. In this episode, in the Crimeshield podcast, we bring a guest who has a ton of experience with regard to safety in stadiums.
If you go to a stadium today to watch a match and you had booked your ticket
Yes.
or purchased your ticket online,
Yes.
and when you get to the stadium, the ticketing concept or the accreditation concept isn't functional.
Otieno, who is a National Safety and Security Officer, tried and tested both within the country and outside the country, discusses a ton of things that we need to be looking at. Safe stadium capacity, circulation within the stadium, our ticketing, among many other things. What are the things you'd want to see in the stadium in order for us to meet the threshold of hosting? What are the critical things that probably you and I can share that we need to see in the stadium? If you're a sports fan, if you're a football fan, then this is the best chance for you, the best time to hit the subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comment section. And as always, keep it Crimeshield. Many people do not understand that every event requires a little bit of behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And with regard to event security, it's a wide topic, but Austin, I want us to help our viewers understand why safety and security is very key when it comes to any event. And we'll put more emphasis on soccer, the sport we love. Yeah, before we get into it deeper, probably just share your story in brief. What was your Austin in nani?
A wonderful space to be. Fantastic. Austin Oduor, named after the late Makamu Austin Oduor. May his soul rest in peace. Was a great legend. Played alongside great players. I found myself in this space. And it's a wonderful space. That is what I can tell you. Sometimes back in 2017,
Yeah.
I used to be a soccer player, but not at the professional level.
Yeah.
I left, I played football to some level, that is at the Super League.
That is like semi-pro.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I can say that I had some good time and bad times.
Yeah.
And I developed some passion in regard to sports safety.
Yeah.
It entails a lot of details. It's not only about security.
There's
also the safety part of it, the service part of it.
Yes.
Because there's also
Yes.
the issue of spectators' experience, which is key.
Yeah.
That is the major component. Because at the end of the day, spectators are our clients.
Exactly.
We regard them as our clients. And we want them to have the best of experience when they're coming to our stadiums to watch matches
Yeah.
or other sporting events.
And you bring a very critical point, and which now paves way. It's a perfect segue anyway to why is safety and security important in any sporting event, in your opinion?
I think, in my own opinion, the objective here is to ensure that we have 0 deaths and 0 incidents in our stadiums. And that's why security is a major component in our major sporting events, both local and international tournaments. We want to have a secure, safe, and hospitable environment where we can accommodate children, we can accommodate women, we can accommodate undocumented workers, we can accommodate people with a disability, and they will have the same experience regardless of people speaking different languages, wearing different attires, from different religions. We want each and every person coming to the stadiums to be safe. So safety is our topmost priority.
Exactly, because most of the times, people just think that when you're talking about soccer and safety, people think about the players only. And yet they do not understand that it's very critical. You, as the consumer of that kind of entertainment,
Absolutely.
You're paying your hard-earned money to get entertained. So safety, security, and service is a perfect combination to create that kind of environment. And notably, we saw some matches in the preparation to the qualifiers for CHAN, I think, at AFCON. We had some incidences where people ran into the field and they were damaging a lot of equipment from the media side. We've seen instances where there are even fires, in stadiums. We've seen instances where, these fraudulent efforts made towards ticketing and things like that. What's your take on how the culture of ensuring safety has morphed? And let us look at it from more global, and then now we narrow down till home.
You've mentioned key issues. And one of the things I would like to highlight, I've heard you mention about the uncelebrated heroes. People who work behind the scenes.
In the backgrounds.
In the backgrounds, just to ensure that each and every person coming or attending the matches is safe. We have issues to do with the ticketing or the accreditation system or the accreditation concept, which is key. We have other issues, and some of these issues, what makes them happen is issues to do with weak planning and issues to do with queue management, issues to do with crowd counting, crowd analysis, issues to do with ingress, ingress, emergency contingency planning. We have issues to do with control and command, communication and coordination, issues to do with intelligence gathering. Because at the end of the day, those people coming to the stadiums, they're coming from somewhere. And before they get to the stadium, there's need to have some due diligence done. And we can have people in various areas where these spectators come. We have different fan zones around the city. Like in most cases when teams are playing in Nairobi, you find out that some of the spectators assemble at Kenya
CBD.
Cinema, the CBD. So we can clearly tell where these people always find some time at least to interact with one another. Because you see, one thing you also have to realize is these people hails from different backgrounds. So when people come together, they tend to behave in a certain way. And
there's a blend of emotions.
There's a blend of emotions because football is a game of emotion. You have to understand that. So spectator engagement is key. So before they get to the stadium,
Yeah.
you need to have the spectator liaison officers who are within the teams to talk to their groups, to talk to their sides, and tell them, or rather sensitize them on why it's important to behave in a certain way.
Yeah.
Before they get to the stadiums. It's important that they need to realize that football brings people together.
Yeah. It's a unifying factor.
It's a unifying factor. We are not going for war. We are going
for entertainment.
For entertainment.
Yeah.
We have children. We have people who cannot function maybe properly in one way or the other. So we need to accommodate all these groups of people, which is really key. Therefore, before spectators get to the match venue, planning is key.
Very key.
And planning cuts across. Therefore, stakeholders' engagement is important. We need to ensure that every person who needs to be involved
has to be
in match day planning
has to be
incorporated.
Yeah.
And by doing so, we'll end up having a very conducive, or creating a conducive environment for our players to compete.
Yeah.
Because you see, security of our players, our match officials, other service providers like the ambulatory personnels, the fire personnels, the media,
even food vendors.
Even food vendors. We have people working around the stadiums, like the groundsmen. These are people who needs to be protected because they play a key role when it comes to service delivery or in ensuring that we have a successful tournament or successful match day. So the other issue I would also highlight on, which I think needs to be in place even before these other things falls into play. I think there's the issue of security risk assessment and mitigation plan. We have the issue of operational plan. Do you have a clear operational plan for this particular nature of match?
Yes.
Do you have a clear, updated? And the security risk assessment plan needs to be updated every now and then.
Yeah, because the teams that are coming to play, you know, they carry different types of funds.
Absolutely. And the other thing you also need to realize is that security trends keeps on changing every day.
Dynamic.
They're not constant. They are dynamic. So you must have it in mind that what took place today is likely to change tomorrow. So you need to always be on top of the game. You need to carry out research. You need to engage stakeholders. You need to engage with spectators. You need to engage with security personnel. You need to engage with medical personnel. You need to engage with media houses. Well, I think we haven't really capitalized much on stakeholder engagement. We need to ensure that, like, we have some good space. We have the social media platforms. We have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We have our media houses who are very instrumental, and they can play a great role in sensitization of fans. The other thing is the training of security personnel, which is also key.
It's very critical.
Because human capital resource is a critical component when it comes to functioning of an organization. If you have a clear structure, if you have a good human capital resource, trained personnel, you've built capacity.
It becomes easy for you.
It becomes easy for you to operate. Because I don't want to see you, Kingsley, moving around the venue,
Yeah.
moving from the point of entries, from one turnstile to another, to the tunnels, to the VOC, you moving to the dressing rooms, to the parking areas, to the mixed zones, to the players area, that is the competition area. You need to have people who are trained and well briefed on what is expected of them.
Yeah, we find that
that makes your work easy.
Yeah, you find most of them, you know, and it has been a culture that is being normalized with time. That and I'm not just talking about soccer. I'm also talking about any other event where security is viewed as a third wheel, and yet it is the backbone of any successful event. You talked about research, and I want us to go back a bit and just look at what the Confederation of African Football has said commensurate to securing sporting events. There are policies that are in there that really direct on how things are supposed to be done. And I feel if we just look at it critically and, you know, align it towards our environment, probably we'll see change. And I've seen a lot of movement, you know, in terms of even the capacity building that you're talking about. CAF was here just the other day, and they trained stewards. Now, what we're talking about here is what kind of impact will it be if at all we are not practicing what we are being taught. So it's critical, as you're putting it, that capacity building and having people understand their roles is very key. Very key. We need people to understand that as a fan, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yes.
As a steward, this is what I'm supposed to do. So there are levels. You talked about command and control, the structure of the hierarchy of the chain of command, how information can be passed, intelligence-based kind of approach, which is very key. And I'm backing you up on that one.
And when you talk of intelligence kind of approach, you see, you can rely on either human-based intelligence or you can rely on technology.
Yes.
So because currently we are lucky enough, we are lucky at this time. We are living in the 21st century, where we have communication, gadgets. Currently, you're having your handset, and you can be able to pick out any information you need, which could be very instrumental, which can support your operations. Therefore, me, I look at it in a perspective that, you see, people, there's a worldview of the way you view things is totally different.
The perspective.
In a different perspective. Your worldview is totally different from my worldview. And that's why we need to come together. We need to plan together. We need to agree. And that's why the accreditation system or the accreditation concept is really key.
What people fail to understand, Austin, is that that accreditation, it is a tool.
Yes.
It's a tool that will aid you know that I'm supposed to be in this area. And I'm not supposed to go to this area.
And maybe to add on, with the accreditation, there are certain terms and conditions which are always highlighted. In most cases, when you look at the accreditations, there are terms and conditions in regards to how spectators needs to conduct themselves. Because you see, the person who has the right of admission is the stadium management. So if you behave in a certain way, you can easily be evicted or thrown out from the stadium. Therefore, just like you've mentioned, the accreditation, it looks like just a small
piece of paper,
but it's a key component.
And actually, I feel that if any person organizing any event gets it right from the accreditation
system,
then now you have like 70% of your problems are solved. Let us look at the challenges. There are many challenges that you know, we face in terms of you know, making sure that you're able to secure, a stadium or an event for that matter. One of the things that stands out, and it has been a thorn in the flesh for many years, is crowd management. What's your thought about it? How can we handle the crowds better?
When we talk of crowd management, there are systems which clearly needs to be in place at our match venues.
Yes.
I want you to maybe just share with me your either experience or just an overview.
Okay.
If you go to a stadium today to watch a match and you had booked your ticket,
yes,
or purchased your ticket online,
yes,
and when you get to the stadium, the ticketing concept or the accreditation concept isn't functional. You as a spectator, you'll get agitated.
Yeah, you'll be frustrated.
You'll be frustrated, right? Yeah. So there's what we call the crowd density. People will start forming up because it's not only you who is missing or who hasn't gotten the same services.
Yeah.
You've maybe like 50 or 100 or 200 people also waiting in the
for
queues
the same
for
service.
the same service in the queues. There's a way crowd reacts to certain dynamics or elements.
Yeah.
That's why it's key to plan.
Yeah.
To have a clear security operational plan before, during, and after the match.
Yeah.
Okay? Because at any stage, at these three stages, that is during, that is before. During, and after, anything can happen.
True.
So you can't lower your guard. There are several issues to do with crowd counting, crowd analysis, crowd control, issues to do with crowd density.
Yeah.
There are major components that at times contribute to crowds forming up. And some of these things that I've just highlighted, one is the issue of poor ticketing and accreditation system, weak planning.
Yeah.
Okay? We have the issue of lack of knowledge on security and safety personnel. They clearly, some of them clearly don't understand what they need to do.
Yeah.
Because you also need to have a clear communicational plan.
Yeah.
Because you can always talk to people and people will listen.
Yeah.
You can always address people with respect. Because I told you earlier on, those coming to the stadiums are our clients.
Yes.
We need to treat them as clients.
Yes.
We need to treat them with respect.
I think
when you do so, there's a certain level of confidence or relationship you start building. Because the other challenge also maybe I can mention and I will keep on repeating is the issue is at the planning stage.
Yeah, planning is
key.
It's very critical, and you bring up a very, very critical point. When you're planning, you need to make sure that you have all the relevant stakeholders in there. The stadium manager, you have law enforcement, you
Absolutely.
have the representation from the federation.
Absolutely.
Representation from the teams, the referees, you name it. Every person who is supposed to be involved in that
And
event.
There's a very important key aspect which we did not mention. There's the issue of signage match venues.
Exactly.
It makes works easy.
It makes it
if you
easier.
have signage at your venues, it really makes your work easy.
Yeah.
Because clearly, Kingsley knows where to go to from point A to point B. Kingsley knows where the washrooms are.
Yes.
Kingsley clearly knows where the parking area is. Kingsley clearly knows where he can get his beverages or snacks during breaks.
Yeah.
So I think the issue of signage
is also critical. Yeah. When the planning phase, at the planning phase with the relevant stakeholders, they'll be able also to understand the safe capacity.
Absolutely, the safe maximum capacity of the venue. And again, there's also, when you have the key stakeholders from different security backgrounds,
yes,
clearly you understand that there are certain items which are prohibited, like firearms are prohibited, pyrotechnics. You're not supposed to access the match venue with firearms, because I want you to tell me, Kingsley, at the VVIP area, you have every dignitary accessing that place with a bodyguard who is armed. So
it's not a war.
I want us to assume that we have like 80 dignitaries. Everyone has a CPO, close protection officer. So it simply means we'll have 80 firearms in that space, or more in that space.
Yeah.
We are not at war.
It's not a war. And that's why I usually tell people, like, when you're going to a stadium, picture this. You're going to a restaurant. What do you expect in a restaurant?
Service. Good service. Good experience.
Entertainment, you know, and that is the same image I want even our viewers to understand. That in order for us to be able to handle the crowds, it starts from an individual's level. Once you understand why you're going to watch that match or why you're going to that particular event, the responsibility of ensuring that there's smooth and free-flowing people coming in, it starts from the individual, because you need people to form the crowd. So if people do understand that it is also their responsibility to make sure that they are, have clear in their mind that they're going to watch a sporting activity. For this instance, we'll focus on soccer. That mentality, as they're coming from home, as they meet up in the CBD, has to be very clear that, yes, we're going to watch a game, yes, we're going to cheer our teams, but regardless, there are only 3 outcomes in any soccer match.
You can either win a match, you can draw, or you can lose.
Either way,
at the end of the day, we have someone must go home with the result. Yeah.
And people fail to understand that sometimes even in the dwelling home, you find that probably the husband is supporting this team and the wife is supporting this team. So does it mean that when we are going as a mob, we now turn into, war fighters and we were going to beat each other up? So I think we need to start talking about the mentality of these fans, these spectators, because they are the ones who primarily form this crowd.
And just like we are sitting in this space, I know there's a team you're supporting.
Yes.
And I'm also supporting a different team.
Yes.
But that does not mean that
we are
enemies.
Yeah. There's another challenge that people often overlook, and this is the health risk. We had COVID in the previous years, and I'm looking at it in a way that there are health concerns that are usually there, and with regard to health, we have different people with different conditions, but probably they also want to have the same experience.
Absolutely.
Touch about it a little bit.
During COVID-19, sometimes back,
yes,
I played a very critical role during that period. We had our matches going on.
Yeah.
We have restriction, spectators, movement restrictions. We had issues to do with the implementation of certain operational procedures.
Yeah.
And issues to do with just focusing on our stadiums, our training sites. we used to have a limited number of spectators, players, service providers who were supposed to attend matches in different venues. It was not an easy period, but we managed. And I also want to take this opportunity to applaud or give credit to the media for having carried out sensitization. At least they educated the public. They could clearly tell us what to do and what not to do. I'm not a medical practitioner or a medical doctor, but it's good to follow instructions from the medics. Anytime you're told to conduct yourself in a certain manner, it's very important, because it was a matter of life and death during that period. And for those who lost their lives during that period, may their souls rest in peace. We were at war with the virus. There were certain measures which were in place, put in place by Ministry of Health. And we do appreciate. We had various organizations who played critical roles. We had essential service providers, just like the medics, the security personnel, who worked for, I think, more than 24 hours, just to ensure that people are safe. So during that period, what I can remember is in our match venues, there were guidelines which we had received in regards to how we were supposed to operate. And strictly, we adhered to the code of conduct, because for us to have the seamless operations which we did during that period, it couldn't have been possible without doing due diligence. And to my best of knowledge, what we did during that period, the enforcement of laws and policies which were in place.
The health practitioners really, they did overtime.
They did overtime. They worked.
And it brings
in most cases, as security personnel, our work was to enforce these policies, just to ensure that we are doing the right thing for business continuity. Because at the end of the day, what we thought of was people also need to put bread on their table. So we couldn't stop some of these activities going on, but
you managed it.
We managed.
I think ensuring medical readiness is very critical in any event.
Absolutely.
Not only the sporting events, but also, we have people doing weddings, we have concerts and things like that. Sometimes we negate such kind of stuff, and more reason why we will keep on going back to the planning and planning and planning. So slowly and steadily, Austin, we're trying to put in the picture of our viewers that it's important that you have the relevant stakeholders, including medical stakeholders.
Personnel.
We brought about an issue of signage, which is very critical. I want us to look at the infrastructure. We are a third world country, but we're getting there. And right now we are hosting CHAN and AFCON in 2027. And one of the things that I want the public to understand is that we need to be very clear in our role. I'm focusing in our role as an individual, as a person
in private capacity.
Private capacity, yeah.
Absolutely.
What you need to understand. What we've been seeing so far about, how the infrastructure has been put in place. And I'm seeing a lot of improvements. With time, I'm sure we'll have world-class stadiums. But what are the things you'd want to see in the stadium in order for us to meet the threshold of hosting? What are the critical things that, probably you and I can share that we need to see in the stadiums?
In my opinion, I think it's important to note that protecting the field of play, implementation of operational procedures, limitation of spectators' movement, accreditation arrangements and concept, and focusing on key points for staff's deployment within training site and within our match venues, hotels. It's all dependent on a good match venue, or rather a good stadium.
Yes.
And we have the concept of the last mile. This is the first, the last mile is the first check before people get to the entry points at the stadium. And the last mile concept could be, you could have it, it could either be 1 kilometer away from the stadium.
Yes.
It could be 500 meters. It could be 1.5 kilometer.
And this is radius you're talking about?
Yeah, these are the radius I'm talking about. This makes your work easy. As a person who is planning for a major sporting event or during match day. You need a clear barrier system.
In the stadium?
In the stadium. This will clearly make your work easy in regard to spectators' movement to various points. You need to have clear turnstiles at the stadium. You need to have a clear VOC, venue operational center, at the stadium, where you have a well-coordinated stakeholders engaging. Rather, decision making becomes easy. You are able to have a clear view of the stadium ball. The other thing, you need to have good dressing rooms. You need to have a clear mixed zone, competitions area. You need to have a good parking area.
Well marked.
You need to have good seats at the stadiums. Okay? Well numbered, so that you can clearly tell how many people have sat comfortably at the stadium. We don't want to see broken seats in our stadiums. And that goes back to our spectators. We need to protect that which we have. We need to take care of our facilities so that someone else will use them tomorrow. We need to protect that which has been given to us. Me, I take it as a privilege having these facilities. The other thing I would mention in regard to a good stadium, which is really key, is the field of play. And we need to protect
the field of
the
play.
field of play.
It's a sacred ground. We were taught.
So we need to keep off the grass when we are told to do so. We need to have a clear match officials rooms, the doping room. We need to have a medical room in the stadium, not only in hospitals, but we need to have a good medical facility within the stadium. We need to have other amenities like the hospitality area, the VVIP area, needs to be hospitable. We need to have the waiting lounge within our stadiums. The concussion areas needs to be clear. The staircase, the gangways, they need to be clear. The other things which we want to see in our stadiums are the lighting systems, good in place. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think an estimate of 1,200 lakhs. That's a good lighting system. The other thing I would mention in regard to having a good stadium is just to ensure that we have a power backup system.
Redundancy in case.
We have a good power backup system within our stadiums. We also need to ensure that we don't discriminate people with a disability. Inclusivity is key. We need to have at least a space for this group of people. The sanitation areas needs to be clean. They need to be enough. Okay. Other amenities that we are likely to have into our stadiums, we need to ensure that the technical area, and the technical benches are in good condition. We also need to ensure that we have areas where spectators can clearly have some breakout sessions during breaks. Buffer zones, segregation areas for different teams. Not limited to the outer cordon, that is the entry points. We need to have the ingress points needs to be clear. We need to have adequate entry points and exit points.
And then you remember when you want to know how many entry points you require for a stadium, you basically divide the capacity that you anticipate by 660.
That is per hour.
Per
hour.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're able to know that the flow rate, how people are getting in and how they can be able to be spread through, so that we avoid bottlenecks. I want us to go a little bit
because you've mentioned a very important aspect in regards to the circulation. We have issues to do with the DIM, ICE, the design, information and management, ingress, circulation and ingress. So these are very important concepts when spectators are
getting into the
stadium, because you need to clearly tell at what point will spectators be at risk during egress, that is during
when
exit,
they're getting out,
when they are getting out of the stadium. You need to be able to understand which areas within the stadium you will be having a large group of people, and in most cases this is during the match. Before the match, that is now the concept of crowd analysis. Crowd analysis. The crowd risk analysis. That is now when that concept comes in.
Where we bring in now the likes of the zigzag, and it's an amazing thing.
We have got different formations. So it all depends with the information you're having in place. And these are key issues which in most cases you attend to them at the planning stage.
Yes. When when you talk about security, and as we are winding up, we have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning, and it's a subject we cannot
fully exhaust.
There's a lot. And you have to remember, just like I told you, that security is dynamic. Things keeps on changing.
They change
Yeah.
every single day. I want us to look at, in the next like 6 minutes, let's look at the role of the steward. These are people who, for the longest time, have been looked down upon, not only in sporting event, but many events. And people think when you're talking about stewards, you're talking about bouncers, you're talking about people who have hit the gym and they look like giants. Remember, I said that when you're going to a sporting activity, it's like you're going to a restaurant. What do you expect there?
Service.
Yeah,
And not just service. Good service.
Good service.
Yeah.
Speak about the stewards for a little bit.
Stewards are very important people when it comes to match day operations. And these are the first responders, even before uniformed security personnel comes in.
Yeah.
Stewards really play a great role when it comes to match day operation, because these are the people who interact with the spectators.
They're the face of the
They are
tournament.
the face of the teams. They're
Yeah.
the face of the
Basically the
events.
whole tournament, because
Yeah.
they're the first point of contact.
You have to realize that guns are not allowed
Yeah.
into the stadium. Okay?
Yeah.
So the first people spectators will be interacting with are the stewards.
Yes.
And that's why, just like you've mentioned, they play a key role when it comes to spectator engagement or spectator management or crowd control.
Yeah.
So what I can say is that you need to have well-trained stewards who understands their roles clearly.
Yeah.
You need to have people who, it's not the size of the body doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The content matters. And one thing you need to realize is whoever will be coming to the stadium,
Yes.
the way he or she was approached from the point of entry is likely to influence
Their behavior.
their behavior when they are inside the stadium. And that's why it's always important to have people who can easily
who are good communicators.
people who can communicate
and can
vividly.
escalate
People
issues.
who can escalate issues in a respectful manner.
Yeah.
Just like we mentioned before, we are not at war.
Yeah.
It's always prudent to engage spectators.
Yeah.
Just the same way you would also want to be engaged at your personal level. I want to highlight that stewards are the first responders. They play a major role when it comes to protecting the field of play, protecting spectators, ensuring that key areas like the dressing rooms,
Yeah.
the competition area,
Exits.
entries are well manned, are
Yeah.
well secured. They need to check the accreditations
And verify.
and verify and direct spectators, service providers, invited guests, VVIPs to the right areas
Yeah, that they need to be.
that they need to be.
I think we can really, I think we'll need another session just to highlight on the stewards, but I'd like to have your parting shot with regard to now how you view safety and security in the stadiums and and what you can tell people who are anticipating to, be part and parcel and be like you, Austin, people who are passionate about the sport, but they want to serve in a different capacity?
Passion is one thing. Commitment is key. And being conversant with your area of expertise is also key. When you know what you're doing, you'll be passionate. And for those who want to major in this area, one of the things that they can take home is integrity. You must be a person who adheres to the highest standards of professionalism. You need to be a person who can clearly be a problem solver.
Not the cause of the problem.
Not the cause of the problem. You must separate, because there's the concept of human security, which focuses mostly on issues to do with the safety of you as a person, Kingsley. We've got health security issues in human security.
Yeah.
We've got, like now we're talking about this is now the concept of sport security, which is also part of human security.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see people losing lives. We don't want to see people destroying properties. We want to live with dignity. Okay?
Yeah.
We want to live in a space whereby each and every one of us respects one another. And in this case, by ensuring that properties are protected, no life is lost, because that is the main objective.
Yeah.
To have zero deaths in our stadiums. Okay?
Yeah.
Promoting safe stadium culture across Africa. We need to start or begin a spectator sensitization program. And there's also the concept of you ensuring that anytime whoever match is given,
much is expected.
Much is expected.
Yeah.
If you want to please people, go and sell ice cream. Okay?
Yeah.
But in this area or in this field of security, you must do the right thing.
Exactly.
Because any other time you compromise on service delivery, it's either you're subjecting someone to a risk, you are exposing an organization, you are exposing the players, you are exposing the officials, you are exposing each and every person who is attending a football match. So at the entry points, and that's why I keep on insisting on issues to do with integrity.
Yeah.
We must have the right people. You must realize that this is a noble cause.
Yeah.
This is not just a profession like any other.
Yes.
Here we are talking of both people's lives. It's a matter of life and death. You mess up,
You've cost a
with
life.
following the right procedures, due diligence, and you end up exposing people to danger.
Yeah.
That is not what I know, Kingsley, you want to see.
I don't want to see that.
I've worked closely with you. I know your capability. I know you're a person who is driven with certain elements of integrity. And you wouldn't want to see people losing their lives in our stadiums.
No.
And it is something that we also want to extend to other organizations.
Yeah.
Same concept.
It's just the same.
Zero death. We don't want to see destruction of property. And we just want to see things working out in a seamless manner.
Wow.
We want to see order.
Yeah.
And I would like to encourage each and every one of us to have some level of, let's be humane. Let's be our brother's keeper.
Exactly.
Let us all attend our matches in safe, secure environment. I want to see you, Kingsley,
Yes.
attending matches with your children,
Yeah.
with your spouse, with your friends, workmates, colleagues. Share tell stories, have fun, go back home safely. So my parting shot is, let's ensure that we promote safe stadium culture across Africa. Let's ensure that we have zero deaths in our stadiums.
Amazing. This is a topic that I'm sure our viewers want us to talk more and more, but we're short of time. Put in the comment section what you think we haven't highlighted, but as Austin has rightfully put it, safety and security is your responsibility. It's about you to understand what is your role. As a fan, what do you need to do when you're going to watch this match? Would you want somebody coming to your event to behave the way you will behave when you're going to a stadium? As a policy maker, what would you want done to ensure that the safety and security of your event, not only soccer, what would you want? That will call upon you to understand that safety and security is a collective responsibility, but
Absolutely.
it is also an individual's responsibility. If you engage all the stakeholders and plan properly, ensure that we have the necessary requirements to ensure that there's signage, every stakeholder is put in the know.
Stadium certifications
and things like that, then we are making a step closer to ensuring that there is zero deaths, as Austin, you've rightfully put it. We have a culture at the Crimeshield podcast where a guest will be asked a question from the black book, and then that guest will also have an opportunity to put down their question. So as we do that,
amazing.
As we do that, ladies and gentlemen out there, put in the comment section, do you feel that we are doing enough as fans to ensure that there is safety and security in the stadiums? The second question to you out there, can you come and tag along with your family to go and watch a soccer match or any event? Put it down in the comment section and let us know. It's a discussion, so be part of this discussion, and as always, don't forget to keep it Crimeshield as they bring in the black book. It's a book that even personally I don't have the questions in mind, but I'll just read it from the previous guest, then now to you.
Okay.
So
wonderful.
Yeah. So the question is, what would you like changed in the security of a person, in the security person? Oh, what would you like changed in the security person? I think the guest was referring to a security professional. What did you like to see change? Or what is the constant? I think you mentioned it earlier.
I think I've mentioned several key issues when I was winding up. And some of those issues forms the basis of having a well-rounded security professional. And just to sum it up, or to be brief, integrity.
Great, integrity. And then the second one is, what would you do or love to do in the security field to make a difference? And I think you've also answered that.
And maybe to add on it, earlier on mentioned that human capital resource is key when it comes to operations. So we also need to ensure that those who provide services are well taken care of.
Wow, those are very swift answers. So now you get a chance to put down your question, and then the next guest will be able to answer it.
Thank you.
How do you find this place, Wojo?
Took a nice cup of Kenyan tea.
How was
Chai.
it? Yeah.
Wonderful, amazing.
What about working? Would you want to come and work here at some time?
You know, if you want to know that a job is important,
Yes.
it all depends with how much Kingsley will be able to pay me.
No, as an individual, that is, like, would you come and, because at Wojo, what people don't realize, or probably we haven't said it enough, is that you can sleep because there's a hotel.
Yeah.
You can work because there's also an ample offices that you can come in and work
I've
at
seen
any
some
time.
spaces around.
Yeah, yeah, it's an amazing place.
Amazing
So,
place.
yeah, it's a place where you can come and you know, have your cup of tea and you know, have your meetings and all that.
Wojo.
Yeah, would you recommend it to anyone?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. So as you answer, I'll talk to the viewers out there. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, we bring amazing guests, and we've curated this to ensure that you get the best of the best. We've talked about stadium safety, and this is a topic that, you know, we can't get enough airtime to talk about it, but it is your sole responsibility to understand that you are the sole proprietor of your own safety. It starts with you. If you're going to watch a football match or you're going to an event, you have a role and duty as a citizen to ensure that you go safely and you come safely. Go to the match stadium, support your teams, but at the end of the day, just know that there are 3 results. Your team can either draw, it can win, or it can lose. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean that we need to fight each other. And as always, keep it Crimeshield.